I started out as a wannabe MMA athlete and had a heart attack at 19, was abusing stimulants forever and had a birth defect that I never knew about.
Okay.
HDR Global is my holding company, but probably write over 500 paychecks a payroll.
You're saying you were trading Forex with her Pell Grant money?
Yeah, I would say just this year has saved me probably over 800 grand in salaries, and we're only in July.
One America policy should I pull from if I want to get $30,000? So is she actually logging into the carriers right now? That's insane.
I'm gonna blow minds is when I started being like, I'm gonna own the Phoenix Suns.
But the whole goal of this podcast particularly is we're interviewing local entrepreneurs and we're trying to get, just any kind of advice, stories, things that would help. Yeah, let's get you kind of set up. I think this is probably a good setup. Anything that would help other business owners through difficult seasons, times where they're dealing with stress, times where they're dealing with, you know it better than anybody.
Hey.
And so I'm dealing with it for the first time. So this is partly selfish for me to interview my friends and learn from people that I look up to, that I've watched over the years, who are like could pour into us, with some of their advice, but then also we could share it with others. So the whole concept of brick by brick is like, it's kind of our philosophy on like how we grow with like serving people. It's like one person at a time, one conversation, each one's an opportunity. Each brick is like brick by brick. So we're just building those relationships.
I love it.
Yeah. So I got some like just kind of fun questions, nothing like no gotcha stuff or anything like that. I just kind of want to know about really your journey, really like where you're focused on. Like, I've watched you over the years and I've obviously seen what you've done with Lexington, which is amazing. And then in commercial real estate with the holding company and everything like that. And now you're doing F3 Energy.
Yeah.
How did you get into energy drinks?
So, like you said, the chronological order of those businesses don't seem like it would end with an energy drink. And this isn't the end, but it kind of was a fun, holistic, full circle. I started out as a wannabe MMA athlete and had a heart attack at 19, was abusing stimulants forever and had a birth defect that I never knew about.
Wow.
So had a heart attack at 19, and I also was like, I want to have a better energy drink, but never had the platform to market it. Like
Yeah.
a CPG company really needs to be able to have some type of, platform to market to. And when I got into Lexington, I was able to see from the behavioral and mental health side how bad stimulants are as well. And so being able to be excited about nootropics and other supplements that could really help. Do you want me to wear that?
I want to know about your whole journey, but how did you get into F3 energy drinks? I know you mentioned you had a heart attack at 19 and got the opportunity to learn about stimulants and the dangers of that. But why did you pursue F3? I wouldn't think somebody that had a heart attack at 19 would start an energy drink company.
Right. I guess for the easiest explanation, I wanted a better energy drink from a childhood experience. But when I started a MMA league with some of my heroes growing up in the MMA world, like Rampage Jackson, Frank Mir, Tito Ortiz, Henry Cejudo, when we started an MMA promotion and you have to go after sponsors for that type of model business, I was like, this is a perfect time as I was looking for Monster, Red Bull, anybody that can come sponsor us. This is a time to double down on ourselves and become our own title sponsor and be able to make a beverage that I've always wanted to make. And here it is.
That's incredible. It's delicious. We've been drinking it all week in preparation for your arrival. I got Orange Sickle, which I enjoy. And are you only in Arizona, or are you
We're national.
nationwide? Are you really?
We're in all the vitamin shops, but we are realizing how hard it is to sustain a national rollout. The marketing, the sampling, the activations, the showing up to all of the stores and communities that are relevant to that community's causes. That's gajillions of dollars every year that I'm like, I need, kind of like what you're saying, brick by brick. You need to build the loyalty, the community before the brand even like there's so many energy drinks and there's so many beverages and
Yeah.
brands that it's like, who gives a crap to try something new unless it resonates with them
Yeah.
and their identity. And so we've really been in Arizona, Southern California, Nevada, especially in the combat sport world. But now with everything we're doing with our F3 community side, which is our public charity arm, we're building something that actually means more than a drink. Like people will wear F3, even if they don't drink the drink, they're just like, that's me. That's because we give back to the first responders, the nurses, the military. We do a lot with who our retailer wants to, like Sprouts is big with military.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will make sure we contribute donations from F3 community and Sprouts to Wounded Warrior or to whoever. And that's when people start to really be like, I give a crap about this brand. And,
Yeah.
and then they realize, oh, and they just happen to have the best product? Cool.
Yeah,
You know?
I can get with
get
that.
behind
I can
that.
align with that.
Yeah.
So how many companies do you own right now?
That is funny you ask. I literally was just, I guess,
Because when we were doing research on your gift, it was like, I was like, dude, this guy is a part of everything.
if you just go to the Arizona Corporation Commission, the amount of LLCs I have is ridiculous. But I would say how many actually are operationally forward facing, probably like 9. And
Wow.
they're all exciting. They're all passion projects. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
your business is very mission oriented, one-on-one conversation. And you kind of have to do that with each business. And then when you have that many, it gets hard. But if any of those stopped being a passion, it's not worth it. And it's
Yeah.
not going to succeed, in my opinion. So I love every one of those.
Yeah.
But they all are infant, except, Lexington and HR Global and a lot of my more mature companies that are able to subsidize and help me sustain the startups. All the other ones are just infants that need daily love and care, and you have to love it or stop.
Yeah, it's mind blowing to me because as a new business owner, I see how hard it is just to take this company and create culture, infrastructure, processes, KPIs, all the stuff that you got to have. We have a director of operations who does an amazing job. Do you have like an integrator? Are you running like an EOS model where you're like visionary and then you got the integrator, or do you have like an integrator for each company?
Yeah, more like for each company.
Okay.
HR Global is my holding company, but it's
Yeah.
also the back end for all the sub companies, accounting, legal, marketing, compliance, HR. We have consolidated that to be a central management office, but that is me. And then I have, like you're saying, the operator, executor, other CEOs of each company.
Okay.
And that is hard to find the right people for each one of those.
Oh my gosh, I bet. So is your strategy like, do you let your managers kind of like, or do you offer your managers to buy in to the company, or do you own all the companies and then you run them?
I think I've actually, other than One Stop Nutrition's that we've bought several of their stores, I think I've founded all of them. And so building those from the ground up, what I do is I offer equity with, different milestones that they hit. And so
Okay.
it's a great opportunity for them
That's
to
amazing.
have a good salary, but hey, I can be a part of this because people treat things differently that they own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a good model so far.
That's amazing.
But yeah, each one has a little piece at least.
That's incredible. Yeah,
Even
I'm
with
curious.
F3.
I'm curious about that stuff. So I didn't know you actually own One Stops. You actually have a few.
Yeah, we have 4 right here in Mesa.
Do you really?
Or Mesa Gilbert.
What are your crossroads?
Greenfield and 60.
I was
is
just there this
mine.
morning.
No, well, that's why
I
we're
got
able to
a
push
shake.
so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they got the hats over there. They got the
and they do at all of them, except that was kind of the reason why it initially started. Was I want to show this brand that we're more than just a product. We believe in one-stop nutrition too. Why not put my money where my mouth is and buy 4 of the locations and Gilbert and Warner, Galveston, Pecos, and Gilbert and McKellips.
Those are great locations.
Yeah.
Gilbert and Warner, that's in the Lifetime parking lot.
Exactly.
That's a killer spot.
It's
So how did you decide to buy 4 instead of just buy 1?
They were just the closest to my office.
Oh, okay.
Well, why 4?
Yeah, like how did you land on, like what was the decision-making process with 4?
I think it just was more of the structure of what it was worth for the previous owner to exit and what it was worth to acquire.
That's amazing. Did you, okay, so I'm sorry, we haven't gotten to this yet, but this is curious to me. So did you make these connections by going in through F3 and then meeting the owners, and that's how you ended up buying the business?
Exactly.
That's amazing, dude. That is so cool.
I know, it started making me think, do I need to buy a couple franchises of every chain so I can get F3 into all of them?
Dude,
I mean, hey, if that's what it takes.
I thought about how cool would it be if you had a PE firm and your job was to buy business. You'd meet so many cool people
100%.
in PE.
And that's what HDR Global was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Ironically, I started all the businesses that it acquired, but ultimately I would love to just buy seasoned companies.
Like, dude, if you were like a Hormozy, but down the street where I could come in and be like, come to a workshop for 2 days, 20 grand, and hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what you need to, here's like, you could come in and show us, here's how you get to, 10X from where you're at. And this is the structure. These are the people. This is the process, right? Like,
well, now it's, what I'm starting to show people to do is the AI bot that I have built that runs so, I would say just this year has saved me probably over 800 grand in salaries, and we're only in July. Like when I launched, her name's Cora, that's my Jarvis.
Yeah.
Over the next 6 months for the rest of the year, I'll even know more of who I can reallocate them to other parts of the business. So it's not to fire people. It's to reallocate them and make them 10 times more productive.
Right.
Which she's done. But I want to show other business owners, because so many friends, colleagues are like, I'm running my business. I know I'm getting behind on AI. Everybody's like, my competitors are growing faster, and I'm terrified of getting left behind. But I don't have time to sit there and learn the 1,000 different AI platforms that I have to know. And everybody's like, if you don't do this.
Yeah.
So I can show them what they need to know, and then of course tailor according to your business, because there are better AIs for the different tasks that you need. But I just can't imagine, because I was in that panic mode about 1.5 years ago when I first started building my bot. If other people are doing this, I can't sleep at all because they're going 24/7, and what am I not knowing? So now being able to be like, okay, I am keeping up just as fast as my competitors, but what about all my friends that are like still not even scratching the surface?
Right. Still using ChatGPT as like Google search.
Exactly.
And stuff. Yeah.
It's hard, and they know that that's not what they should be doing.
Right.
But they are building businesses, and they have stuff during the day that they can't just be coding all the time and doing this.
Right.
So I'm excited to be able to circle back and help them with that, because
That's
like you were
amazing.
saying, is it Hormozy?
Hormozy, yeah.
I don't want to go in and be like, hey, you have to hire a CFO, you have to hire a COO, hire a, blah, blah, blah. Here's your bot.
Yeah.
And then whatever she can't do, hire somebody who she tells what to do, and that just changes. It is so much easier to start a business today than ever. And
that's encouraging.
A very profitable one too.
That's really encouraging. I love what you said about reallocating people within the company. So I feel like our problem here, we've been decent. I wouldn't say good. I'd say we're okay on the AI train. We're maybe a little bit more advanced than I thought we would have been. But that's one of the challenges we're having, is just imagination, is like, how do we create quick enough? Because every time we bring in something, it kind of makes a certain personnel or potentially obsolete, and our employers are like our family, as our team members.
Totally.
So we want to do like the Dan Martell thing, where we're like, use AI to 10x. We're not using AI to cut salaries.
Exactly.
But it is hard to imagine like how to keep everything moving at the right pace. I can't imagine over 9 companies how you do. How many employees is that? Do you know?
Collectively,
yeah,
I probably write over 500 paychecks a payroll.
That's amazing, brother.
Between the 9, yeah.
When did you start your entrepreneur? Was it with Lexington with your sister?
It was in high school. My junior year of high school, I started a carpet cleaning business and dropped out of high school.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
high school dropout.
What high school did you go to?
Mountain View.
Okay, nice.
Are you from?
Yeah, I went to Mesquite.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It
So,
was hard.
I grew up in Gilbert.
It was hard to get dates as a high school dropout. That's for sure.
Were you a member of the church?
Yeah, I grew up and I was called to Philadelphia. Had a heart attack in the MTC, and that's when I had to come back. That's where I.
So can you drink F3 now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even after your heart attack?
I'm my biggest consumer. Like
Wow.
the drug dealers say don't get high on your own stash or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am addicted.
So, dude, you drop out of high school, start carpet cleaning, and then what happened from carpet cleaning? What did your parents say when you're like, I'm going to drop out of high school to start a business? Were they cool with that, or
Terrified. No.
They were angry?
No. I am the youngest of two older sisters, and the sister that's just barely above me is autistic, and so she was not perfect at formal education either. And my oldest sister dropped out in high school as well, and so she kind of paved the way for the parents to be like, "What the fuck?"
So she kicked the door down for you.
Yeah.
You got,
And so I was the last chance, and ironically, the only sibling that did graduate high school was my autistic sister. So
no way.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. So, okay, so mom and dad kind of had the shell shock with your older sister, so thank God for her.
I know.
And then you kind of came in, and so you started carpet cleaning, and then where did it go from there? I've never heard this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, so I saw how hard it was, especially in the Mormon community.
Mm-hmm.
High school dropout doesn't get a lot of dad approvals.
You're not probably welcome at the.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
you're
really.
dating who?
Right. Yeah, the kid that dropped out.
And then I was like, well, if I don't go on a mission, high school dropout and a non-return missionary. So I sold my carpet cleaning business to pay for the mission, and it did. But I had a heart attack, came back early, and met my wife. So
Wow.
the plan was to go back, but luckily I didn't have to. I was able to.
So you come back, you meet your wife, you're fresh off a heart attack, you're 19. What do you do next? What did you start another business?
Got my real estate license. This was in 2007, so
Ooh.
this was right. So all of my financial gain from carpet cleaning was parlayed into the bubble, and
Okay.
and so I had to start literally $17 in the bank with when my wife and I got married. No job, no any heart attack mission. So I got my real estate license and just started doing real estate kind of, but she was going to college. She was studying to be a nurse is what she wanted to be. And I learned about FAFSA and the different student loans and the Pell Grants. And now that we were dirt poor married couple, she could qualify for everything. So I maxed out her FAFSA, and then I started trading it with, I got really good at speculating the market, Forex specifically.
You're saying you were trading Forex with her Pell Grant money?
Yeah, I know. It maxed out everything, and
Dude, that is awesome.
made a good return. So
That's crazy.
was able to parlay that proceeds into Lexington, and that's where Lexington started. Was because things were going really well with trading, that I had extra time and money to. It took about a year and a half to get a contract with the state of Arizona to start providing services through Lexington.
Wow.
And then when Lexington started blowing up, I was like, man, I got to pick one or the other. And, trading is always risky, so I'd rather just go with the passion project that started to make money. So
That's incredible.
grew into then commercial real estate because we were occupying a lot of buildings, insurance.
Yeah.
What else?
So is your philosophy on starting companies, like if you can learn it, see it, and you can find a way to solve it, like are you just going to get into it? Is that
That's part of the philosophy. My also thing is, where am I spending money on in my businesses?
Mm-hmm.
And if I can start a business and my other businesses be a client customer of this new business and make it at least break even, everything who I can bring out from a third party of that new business is gravy. So
Right.
I just kind of start businesses
Wow.
that I'm spending money.
That's amazing.
that's how the commercial real estate was. I'm spending how much on leases?
You're gonna buy one of these.
Yeah.
So is the holding company responsible? That's the commercial real estate company, HDR Global,
That is
or do you have a specific company for
HDR
real
Properties.
HDR Properties? Okay, and are you only commercial or do you do residential, multifamily?
I do have a couple residential rentals,
Okay.
but the portfolio that I plan to sell to a REIT one day is commercial.
Nice, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's a great exit.
It's the end you can print your own money with.
Yeah, you taught me that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, I'd love to hear it again because I'd love for people to hear it, but I'd love to refresh her because this was like 6 years ago. You told me this. So
It's basically you, especially if you have an operating company that can go lease it. I go buy empty buildings and preferably multi-suite retail properties that can have external tenants. I go in a empty building that has to sell at building value, not at a cap rate, because there's no revenue, so you can't sell at a cap rate. So I go in and I buy it pretty inexpensively. I lease it to myself, and I then lease to as many tenants as I can, and then refinance it based on a cap rate that not fictitiously. You have to do market rate leases.
sure, yeah, you can't just.
But
yeah.
you can do the highest of the market.
Sure.
And you just created cash out of nowhere.
Because the building's value is based on the rents.
Right.
So if you can get full rents and you're one of the tenants, you get would you write like a 10-year lease on yourself? Or are you
Exactly.
doing amazing. Now is that's not a triple net, is it?
Yeah, I triple net all of
You
them.
triple net all of them. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
So are you raising money to buy the like how do you go buy a commercial building?
The first couple, it's beautiful. The SBA, if you're an owner operating acquiring of the building, you just have to occupy more than 50% of the building, and then it's 10% down. It's incredible.
Wow.
Terms, you can either do a 504 or you can do a 7A, which the only difference is how much of the SBA funds are being used to lend, because each person has like, I don't know if they've upped it by now, but you can only acquire about $5 million worth of SBA funds. So a lot of people prefer to do 504 because what that does is you put 10% down, the bank puts 40% down, and then the SBA puts 50% down. And so you're able to get more SBA over further.
Nice.
You know, your 5 million SBA goes a lot further than
That's awesome.
if you just did a 7A on one.
What was the first time you bought a building and did the cost seg on it and you like freaked out?
It was my first Lexington building.
Were you just like, how is this real?
I was, because 10% down
Yeah.
on,
Walk us through the deal. So what was 10% on the Lexington building? Do you remember?
when I bought it for $3 million.
Okay.
And so 10% down was 300 grand.
Is that the one on Gilbert and Southern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And
My chiropractor's in there.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's my tenant.
Nice, I know, yeah.
And so
He's
it's
great.
now the hotel came in and revamped it all, and it looks really way better than it ever has.
That's awesome.
So Lexington took up about 40% of the whole building.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to buy this, but how the heck am I going to afford 30% down on this thing to do it commercially? Well, when I was talking to one of my banking friends who worked at, I think, Wells Fargo at the time, he was like, well, if you do SBA, it's only 10% down, and here's the interest rates that you can get right now, because at the time, rates were crazy low. And I'm like, how do I do SBA? They're like, well, you have to occupy more than 50%. So I went and negotiated the next lease next to me before they knew that I wanted to buy, because I knew that they were going to be listing it soon. And so then I occupied more than 50%. It was like 51. It was perfect, because then the rest of them were already leased out
That's
to the
awesome.
other tenants.
Yeah.
And when I bought it for 300 grand, maxed out credit cards, I maxed out everything I could because I didn't have that at least in cash. But they didn't, like, I had the cash to put down, but I had to like scrape everything I could. I was already cash flowing based on what I previously paid in lease payment to the previous landlord, with the mortgage rate, the mortgage payment, which was already way lower than just my lease payment
Wow.
previously,
That's awesome.
plus the income from the other tenants, I basically was now free operating space.
Yeah, you're making money to operate your business.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I was like, how do I do this over and over and over again?
So you put 300 to get a 3 million. What was the cost egg on that first year? What did you pull out of it?
When I because I was in that building probably 2 years or so before I bought it, and I was at below market rate lease.
Okay.
So then when I bought it and I put it at market rate lease, and there was like one more person that we had like one more empty suite. When I filled that up with a new tenant, I was able to put them at market rate lease. It immediately was worth 4.5. And so I was able to even get a line of credit on the remaining 1.5 difference,
Yeah.
which then reimbursed my 300, and it was
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now you got operating capital and you got to get the tax write-off, right?
Yeah. No,
So to me, cost seg and bonus depreciation is like one of the most amazing tools that I feel like not a lot of people are using.
and at the time though, so this would have been 2015. I think the cost seg at the time was only allowed to be like 30% or anything.
Oh, it wasn't 100%.
It wasn't.
Oh,
At least my CPA at the time didn't say it. It wasn't until I can't remember who brought it. It might have been
I think it was Trump
but
and the Secure Act. Yeah, brought it back to 100.
brought it back. And so now I'm buying
Everything.
Everything.
Yes, it's the time.
It's the time.
Dude, that's amazing. Are you still going to SBA? Is that your route, or are you raising money?
I can't anymore. Like
Oh,
once
you maxed it?
Yeah, and well, it also is they encumber everything. So it's good for first time buyers because it's like, hey, you're an operating business owner, this is your one company, this is where but they encumber all your private home, your private
Wow.
you're personally just everything on
So,
this.
dude, let me run this past you. This building's for sale at 11 million.
For all the suites, like all
Everything.
Yeah. That's a
And
great spot too.
It's a killer spot. My dad's been here 25 years. Our rent here is not that bad. But like I'm trying to make sense, like my dream would be to buy the building, right? Like
Of
that's the goal. So I've talked to the owner, I've talked to the fund that owns it and all this stuff. But it's like, I'm sitting here as a new first time business owner, right? My rent is not that much. I mean, it's, what, $5,000 a month or whatever for this
Beautiful.
nice space. It's a little more than that. But, that's my portion. But we have a CPA firm. But it's like, how do you go from a $5,000 a month? Like, how do you change your mindset and grow to go, okay, how do I take down an $11 million deal?
You look at the rent roll for the rest of them. Like,
Yeah.
Hopefully that $5K a month that you're paying doesn't change or gets better because you have the income coming from the others.
Yeah.
And so the mindset shift goes from here's your obligation to pay. Now you have a right to receive. And so your mindset starts being like, well, cool. Now I can start demanding that I'm getting this from everybody else. And so that 11 million doesn't become your obligation. That 11 million is everybody's, that you're going to say, kind of like I said, my previous lease was basically gone. So you're hopefully yeah.
That's amazing.
The mindset shift it should be not the 11 million. It should just be the operating.
How to get my rent cheaper. Wow. That makes it much more palatable.
Yeah.
And I love that, the right to receive.
Yeah.
That should be like the title.
The right or the
The right to, that's
yeah,
awesome.
not even the right. I guess it is a right, but you demand it. It's like you now deserve to get your return.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense to me. And I love the thought of what we could do here if we owned it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many restrictions on.
I don't know if you could do SBA because you'd have to be 51% occupant. How do you know how?
I mean, there's other spaces I could go rent
Exactly.
if I knew that was the game,
That is the game.
Yeah.
If it's empty, at least up to 50%, you just write a lease and say, I am now guaranteeing that I am the occupant for these amount of suites. But if they already have tenants in more than 50%, that's hard to justify.
Yeah.
But
What are rates SBA these days? You don't keep up with it?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. They're a lot higher than they were when I did it.
Yeah.
But commercial is great too. Commercial loans, you can still, especially when you have other buildings like I do that can be offered as collateral as well. They're just
Yeah.
kind of like, hey, standard 20%, before.
Cross collateralize and just make sure it's,
Exactly.
and then no big deal.
And a lot of like what we're doing now with our portfolio is now all of them just kind of are one collateralized portfolio that it can just have a line of credit to just go acquire more.
And go, that's awesome. That's the dream. So you have kids. You have 5 kids, 6
5
kids?
kids.
5 kids. Why sell to the REIT? Why is the REIT the exit instead of family business?
As douchey as this sounds, I don't want to leave a ton of money to them. I grew up
No,
with
it
zero.
doesn't, dude. It doesn't sound douchey. I mean, honestly, you don't want to have entitled kids that don't. I mean, look at what you got to experience through
Yeah.
your struggle. You don't want to rob your kids of that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And luckily they get it. They're not being like, why would you want it? We have, well, the infinite banking, like you're saying,
Yeah.
they're already going to get a shiz ton when I die.
Yeah.
Just through that. But I have a lot of the beneficiary of those policies go to our nonprofit. We have a foundation, a family one, not just F3 Community,
Yeah.
which is our public charity. We have a family foundation, and it's really cool to start going on these trips where they can see we're freaking blessed,
Yeah.
and we get to give back and do these things that our dad is gonna leave all this money to, and not us.
That's amazing.
That's the plan.
So talk to me about your family retreats. Because we have a family foundation too. So do you guys take the family like on a trip? Do like the board meeting? Talk about the
course.
company? Talk about the structure? So what are you and your wife teaching your kids about business and finance? Like what are some of the core principles that make the Harrison kids a Harrison?
Right now, my oldest is 16.
Wait, your oldest is 16?
Isn't that crazy?
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Yeah, I thought we were the same age. I'm 36.
Yeah.
You have a 16-year-old.
I know.
That's amazing.
It's weird.
Yeah.
She just drove, my family's in California right now, and she drove my other kids out there.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, you just blew my mind again thinking
Yeah.
about it. But she's now getting more entrepreneurial. She wants to do like real estate. She's very creative or interior design, so she'd probably do more residential.
Nice.
But for the longest time, I didn't want to force business. I just wanted to force like financial intelligence. And that's kind of what we do while we do our philanthropic events. It's like, hey, we're able to do this because dad built assets that will continue to pay. Like if we just give them, $20,000 and we only had $20,000, we don't have anything that we can give anybody else anymore. So we have to have these assets that is going to keep pumping us with what we need, but then a surplus so we can keep giving more. So teaching them not only that with philanthropy, but with things we want. Like, hey, you want a car? Don't just go buy a car. Buy an asset that will pay for your car. And that's been kind of our conversation
so
forever.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So obviously, I'm not going to ask you like net worth questions, but like you have whole life insurance and you're wealthy. Why would a wealthy person have whole life insurance? Because a lot of people go, oh, it's such a ripoff. It's such a waste of time and money. You're better off doing anything else. Like there's a lot of skeptics when they're looking at it from a rate of return standpoint.
Exactly.
But like speak to like the wisdom of why a wealthy person owns life insurance in the first place. Specifically cash value life insurance.
I think you hit the nail on the head of if people are looking at it as just the investment vehicle of, oh, I could put the money in the market. Totally. That's not what I'm doing it for. Ultimately, I have an operating business. I created something that is making money that I'm not hoping the policies are doing for me. I am using what I've already built to then forever have a bank that is not going to have taxes imposed on me when I loan myself from it. And heaven forbid if I die early, all of that is protected for my kids to be able to receive. Like even if my business is and all these other things that are legally protected to try to avoid probate and all these different things, they still will have way more problems getting to my kids than these policies. Like it is just so straightforward. The cash inside, the death benefit, or everything. I probably need to go to one of your guys' seminars to articulate it better. I just know how I use it, and it would be stupid to not.
Do you use your cash value to invest in businesses?
Absolutely.
And then they cash flow and pay yourself back?
Cora tells me every month which ones I need to be
No
paying.
way.
Yeah,
She's managing your.
Oh, dude.
That's
I
rad.
can't wait to show you.
Oh my gosh.
My whole. Do we have time?
Can you show your structure? Can you like?
Probably.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but dude, I would love to see your structure. If that'd be cool. Hey, real quick, let me check cameras.
Yeah.
Just make sure I didn't mess anything up. We're good there. Yeah, I think you could probably maybe mirror it, like a screen share. Let me see what we got here. Let me put this on a. Just put like a background on, and I think you can just. I don't know if you can screen share to it.
Screen mirror, maybe.
Yeah, like, is that an iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do I have to be on the same internet, maybe?
Oh yeah, the Wi-Fi.
Do you know what your?
Yeah, you're gonna hate it. Everybody
No.
laughs. So our Wi-Fi is more income, less tax. Do you see that network?
Less tax, more income.
Less tax, more income. And the password, are you ready? It's all like one sentence. Why don't I have a plan for that yet? Question mark.
Why don't all lowercase?
Except for the I, and the W and Y and Y.
Why don't I have
A plan for that yet? Question mark.
a plan? FOR or for
Yeah, yeah. I know everything's spelled out. Yeah, for that yet.
that yet?
Yeah. Question mark.
That is
So you-
strong password.
You got the
Incorrect password.
What? You want me to type it in?
Sure.
Yeah. See, that's why everybody hates it. They're like, dude, change your password. But we thought it was cute because, you know, you got a CPA firm, you got a retirement income planning firm in one roof, so it's like more income, less tax. That's kind of our thing.
Genius.
So I'll put this in for you. I have four. There you go, brother. Should be on there. Hopefully.
Okay. Mirror. Is it 55? Danny's fourth.
I think.
office?
Let's see. What is this one? I think it might be. It's either 55 or the fourth. Yeah. Let's see which one it is. Oh, maybe there's like an input. Media.
Did it just?
I might have just exited out. Yeah, I'd love if you could walk me through this. That'd be awesome.
Maybe Smart TV Pro.
Yeah, it's either 4 or one of those. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Code.
Which one did you do?
55 TCL Roku TV.
Yeah, I think that's it. Oh no, it's that one over there.
Oh!
You're on that one.
Well,
so
I could show
we
that
could,
one.
yeah, you could pull it up there.
Okay. It'll just get your reaction.
Yeah,
Which might be actually better. 6.
yeah, it's probably good.
38. Wait. 6438, right?
Yeah. The
It's
title
not
is
letting.
This Guy's Phone.
That's me. 6438. Maybe that was a different one.
Oh, there you go. How to use. Let me push that button.
Oh,
Oh, now
there
you're
we
back
go.
here.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's see if this works.
7403.
And if we go over anything that you want me to take out, obviously, you just let me know.
Let me see, because this is me logging into my.
No, yeah.
Cora.
You,
No,
we can- yeah.
I'm just saying. I wonder if it'll let me
Oh, okay.
because
Cora might be like, yeah, you're not doing that.
yeah, because it's sharing a window that. Connect to a PC or app on your phone. Oh, dang.
Yeah, and if it's too much to put up, you can just walk me through it too if it's.
Well, here, if I don't mirror it, I'll just show you.
Yeah, you can show me, and then we can.
Um,
Here, I'll turn this off so that way there's some privacy. All right, let's see what you got.
okay.
This is cool.
Come on. Because it has to connect to my remote desktop. Ah, okay.
So, dude, you want me to tell you a funny story while you're pulling this up? I was at the gym and I was watching this. I wasn't even watching; it's just on. It's like one of those like shows where it's just crazy videos over and over and over again. And so I'm watching it, and they're like, "Watch Rampage Jackson freak out on this guy." And dude, you're in the video.
Oh!
And I went home and like YouTubed it, and I'm like, "Dude, that's Harrison in this video." Do you remember that incident?
I do.
Okay, he
That
was
guy-
pissed.
Yeah, he was a F3 sponsored streamer,
Uh-huh.
and I pulled our sponsorship because he was a horrible representation of what we are, and so then he just had all of his 13-year-old Neanderthal bots just go nuts on us. So,
Oh gosh.
But here, let me show you. Wait, come on.
I didn't know that you didn't know that video was out there.
I know.
It's probably all kinds of stuff.
AI content. Where's my One America? Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice. One America guy.
Okay, so
Great company.
Here is all of our policies.
Oh, dude, you're for real.
Like, let me do.
So is it a full family banking concept where you got like you have them on your kids and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But I have 20 policies that all
Like feed each other.
feed my businesses.
Okay.
So they all, like, I've maxed out so many of my loans. Like, look, I only have like 275K of 3.5 million loans out.
Oh my gosh.
And so I have them all working, and they just pay it back each month. And then,
Dude, that's incredible.
but if you can see here, I can do my bank simulator.
And this is in your infrastructure?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So wait, where do I go do? This is hard to do from my phone.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
I should show you how I do it with Cora. Oh my gosh. Let me see real quick. I want to show you my banking simulator. Because then it's like, hey, if I'm going to lend 500 grand to somebody
Yeah.
at an 8% interest, it's not worth it, right? It's barely breaking, but if I could do it for 10, then it is.
Then
and
you
then
got
it'll show me
a
the
spread.
Um,
So it'll show you a projection over time, like if you're doing it that and paying it back and the dividends. And
or just
everything.
keeping it in there.
Dude, that's so cool.
And
That's what the space is missing. I've not found a software that illustrates that well for hard money lending.
that's what Kyle was telling me too. When
Yeah.
I was showing him this, because I don't get to see him very often.
Uh-huh.
When I was showing him this, he was like, will you do this? Because he's like, this would put me and my services over
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, well.
Dude, that would be
Come to my
that's
20.
that's a business right there just for life insurance
Like,
agents.
like here, this is where I could run this scenario by saying, if I was to do a loan amount at this amount,
Mhm.
it would tell me which policies to pull from, depending on their seasonality, like which year they were in, and some of them are close to getting their dividend
Wow.
whatever. But let me just show you what Cora does in a much easier way. Oh, and
Dude, that's
I'll
amazing.
show you the point system with my credit card.
Oh, I gotta see that. That's what. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Let's say I go here to.
Do you have any more room at that class?
Yeah.
I'm just purely like we're not even interviewing anymore. I'm just asking you.
So this is my founders where I can talk to Cora about anything I need personally. Like, okay, what policy, One America policy should I pull from if I want to give a $30,000 loan to a family member at 10%? So Cora is my bot.
Dude, that's so cool.
She's pulling it all.
That's amazing. So is she actually logging into the carriers right now?
Mhm.
That's insane.
Details to our DMs. Oh yeah, I gotta do this in my DM.
It's like a little
Good job,
protection
Cora.
feature watching out for you.
Yep. So Cora. Oh shit.
So 38.8 million in death benefit. Do you have that going into an islet?
The what?
Do you have that do you have an islet for your death benefit? Your revocable life insurance trust? Oh, okay.
So when it starts getting, oh here we go. Ask me there and I'll pull it up. I am in my DM.
Oh.
This is my DM. What's the difference between that and the like POA? Is that for like what I'd have as the beneficiary instead?
Yeah, like that. So because it's over the estate tax limit, you know, with your other assets too, especially.
So my private foundation is the beneficiary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could do that route too, obviously, which is cool.
Maybe I'm not doing this through my DM. What was I doing it through? Oh, DMs, duh. I guess, because I usually have conversations with her. Let me just show you real quick. Here are all the different entities.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say my Lexington operator is trying to know what the cash position is for, they would go to Lex Finance and talk to her there because she's only allowed to talk about finance in that channel or HR questions or whatever. Or let's say my F3 operator is doing an event and he needs to know what is the brand guidelines for F3 Pure instead of F3 Energy. They just ask Cora and she sends them
Dude, how do you create that much infrastructure, bro?
so much. It's year and a half to build it. And
That's just insane.
And that's why when I start showing a little bit of this stuff, I showed Kyle and Rex, who's another buddy of just different things. When they started telling people what it is, word gets out, and because if I knew what I'm going to be able to give them in 2 days, I would have spent $300,000 because it saved me just in the last 6 months
$800,000.
Yeah,
That's
but
insane.
I'm just saying because I want initial people to be like, what, for $20,000 they're gonna come and have their whole life change, and then maybe the next time I'll charge $300,000 for a select few.
Dude, that's amazing.
But
okay, well, that's exciting, man. So I see how you're operating. It makes sense. You have a philosophy. It's like buying assets that cash flow, and seeing how you can basically become your own customer in a way to support your other businesses until they cash flow, and then you support more business. So have you read the book, The One Thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And that's hard for me to.
So what do you say to that? What do you say to the person who's like, dude, what if you just stuck with one and made it the big, like, what if you were like the guy like who owns PF Chang's? Like, what if you're the PF Chang's guy of one? Like, what do you say to that? Is it not you? It's just not possible? Or is it like, is there wisdom in that?
I get the philosophy. There's probably so much wisdom in that, and I'm sure I've prevented a lot of growth in some of my businesses that I haven't put 100% focus into by putting focus in all these other ones. I just don't know how not to. And it's the ADHD. I was terrible at formal education because in each class I would be thinking of the other classes, and I'm like, well, it's probably a character flaw for sure. But if I know I can't just focus on one thing, at least what I'm doing with growing all the other ones maybe a little bit slower than just one is working, I'll just keep doing that. So I wish I could be more complacent and comfortable being all in one basket.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I feel like I would hate to have the rug pulled out from underneath me if one industry goes under, or if one, like I'm very diversified where with how fast the world changes, I can pivot pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I get it. To be able to just grow one thing and be the, chef that everybody knows and do the salt, and like that's your thing that you focus on day in and day out. That seems liberating. That seems healthy, because I go home and I can't, and it does cause marital problems. Like we go to therapy. She's like, he does not stop thinking. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Believe me, I need to be more present. I need to enjoy, but I love what I do.
In addition to ADHD, have you ever explored, like, do you ever have any OCD? Do you ever find, is that,
That's so funny.
are you a
said
little
that.
compulsive? Like, do you have a little bit of that?
If I get,
I have that, and it's like a
Yeah.
blessing and a curse.
Exactly.
It's like, can be a superpower, but it can also be like, this person's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they don't know if it's OCD or if it's just, because when I think of OCD and what a lot of people think of, they think of like cleanliness.
Yeah,
They think of,
touching
like,
doorknobs and weird stuff, yeah.
But when you start thinking of it as just like obsessing about thoughts too, about like, oh, I could be building this. I do have that.
Dude,
And
Tom
so-
Brady was obsessive compulsive. Kobe Bryant,
Look at
obsessive
him, yeah.
compulsive. Going to the gym and shooting shots until the team gets there in the morning and stuff like that. So talking about your work schedule, like, is it different now that you're an entrepreneur that has built these companies, you're diversified, and you've kind of, you're in a different spot than when you started. But when you started, were you 24/7, or how did it go?
Yeah, and that's where the marital problems come in, is because
Yeah.
she knew at the beginning when it was a grind, you had to be 24/7, just because you literally you're not going to be able to make payroll if you're not there doing things that only you are able to do, unless you're paying somebody to do it and you can't afford it. So forever of our early marriage being like, oh, it's going to be worth it. I'm going to be able to slow down once we get to this, this level, this level,
Right.
this level. And now being where we are, where I could just rest, that's where she starts getting hurt and offended and like, well,
I've seen this.
I've seen this. I thought you were saying that once we got to this point, you'd
Yeah.
be able to spend the time with us and the family. And I want to figure out what childhood trauma I have that doesn't allow me to just, I get depressed if
Yeah.
I'm not stressing myself out. And that's not good.
Yeah.
But I just feel like time is, it's a problem on both ends. Time is so short in this life that you want to make sure you're using every minute with those who you love, but I also want to see what I can get done in this short amount of time. So how do you weigh blowing your own mind of what you were able to do in this short amount of time, but also not missing what was the most important in this short amount of time, which is helping your own loved ones and families see what they can accomplish in this short amount of time.
Right.
So believe me, it is a familial, emotional, personal battle every day because I can go 3 days without sleeping.
I
and
can
just,
too.
just brrr. So it's probably a mix of bipolar, OCD, and ADHD and all these things. Because there are also other times where I'll just get burnt out and be like, hey, let's go up to the cabin and just freaking detox, but then I'll just sleep. And that's probably the bipolar and then she's like, well, that's not fun either, because now you just want to freaking veg. Where's the partner that can work hard and then play hard? Because we can play hard, but that window of not being exhausted after working hard and then being able to play hard because you have the energy is hard to find that window.
Dude, I get it.
I'm sure.
I understand. I mean, not at your level, but I get like the emotional parts. It's not at the same financial level, but it's at a level where I get that stress and that heart that weighs on your heart. And it's like the balance between wanting to be present as a father and be a part of your church and be there for
exactly.
Yeah.
And
talking about your friend situation, are all your friends in the business, like team members? Like, do you? Because that's one thing that I found is really, it's hard to keep friends.
It's so hard.
Like nobody gets it, and then you end up just upsetting everybody because you're never enough.
Yep. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, but it sucks because I love relationships. I love having friends. I love being a friend that I can be relied on to show. But a lot of that means time that you're willing to give friends. And when you don't have that, sometimes they are like offended. And then you're kind of like, well, I guess I shouldn't have friends if I can't afford what a friendship needs. But I do have several that they're in the same place where they get it. If you just have to reschedule lunches over and over and over again, or reschedule because that happens. It's fun. It's great to have those, but honestly, I've had to unfortunately mourn the realization that it's kind of a you and then your family and then everybody else that is willing to kind of be with you as much as you can they're a blessing, but you just got to be willing for it to not be often.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I grew up, friends were my life. Like I didn't have a very home life. Divorced parents, autistic, like siblings that were not close, and parents who were just trying to survive with, working and taking care of a difficult homestead. I would just live at friends' houses. And so friends growing up were so important to me that it's weird to now be like, friends are like the least important thing to me.
I know. But I think it's just a prioritization thing where it's like, hey, I have these things that I'm doing and you're doing it at such a high level. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of give. You can't be the ultimate, I'm at every poker night and buddy and doing the mock drafts and stuff.
Totally.
Because you can't do that stuff and do the other things.
And
you got to
then
choose.
Try to find the little sliver that your wife is just begging and she deserves.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to give that to friends.
No.
The one little sliver.
You're not giving date night to your buddy.
No.
I get that. Dude, amazing. You're so transparent, bro. I didn't learn
Oh, good.
Dude, let me check the time. What time do you have to go? 4:15?
If possible.
You got to go. It's like 4:15.
Hey, let's keep going.
Okay, let's ask one last question and then we'll end up, we'll be good here. So just tell me this whole thing with, is the Phoenix Suns thing, is it just like a dream, or are you going to buy the Suns one day?
Dude, it is.
Like, is that just
more than
something
a
you
dream.
say because it's like sounds cool, or is it like genuinely like, dude, I that's my dream?
I think it started out as a thing I would say as a kid because it was so and like I loved seeing the faces of being like, oh my gosh, this poor.
Well, it's the Gary Vee and the Jets thing. It's like the
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I loved seeing that the doubt, this dreamer. But when I started my carpet cleaning business and I started being like, you know what, I can do shiz. I'm going to blow minds. Is when I started being like, I'm going to own the Phoenix Suns. And then whenever that switch went 16, 17 years old, it's been real ever since. And I really wanted to buy it when Robert Sarver was, because it was the perfect time, being able to come in and be the knight in shining armor and take him to the freaking championships after a terrible owner vacates. But Ishbia has been a great owner. It's crazy that he almost got that championship year 2 of his year 1. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was insane.
But now they're in rebuild mode. So I am excited to just keep building my businesses until that opportunity comes again, and then just be able to take it down myself and just buy the whole thing and be a Mark Cuban that says, we're going to win this championship. Damn all money.
Yeah.
Like
dude. As a fan, that's what you dream of for your owner. You're like, dude, this is the guy. He gets it.
Money be damned, and let's get that championship. But, because if I was trying to be a part of the buying group that offered, but it was me and like 80 other people. And so when Ishbia came in with not only a bigger number, it was just him and a few, like his brother and some stuff. It was an easy pick for that buyer. And I didn't want to be just a glorified season holder. I want to be, when I'm an owner, I want to be like, we're blowing money. This isn't Robert Sarver was a banker. He was looking at things from the bottom line. I'm going to be like, we're losing a shiz ton of money for the next 4 years, and we're going to get that championship. And then, we can, the enterprise value is way higher. So maybe you get your money back. But
yeah. Well, you know how to take a distressed asset and raise its value.
That's what I freaking
That's
love
what you
doing.
do. So, dude, this is thank you. for
Heck
coming on, man.
yeah.
This was awesome, bro.
So much more to talk. I can't wait to.
Can we do a part 2 maybe sometime?
For sure.
Like, I had like way more that I wanted to ask you about.
Well, then let's do
We'll
another
connect
one.
on one. Thanks for coming out.
Appreciate
All right,
you.
dude. Yeah, let me walk you out. That was fun.